an extension or if you need, help, they're not going to come after you until they're not even going to inquire. According to this, what I'm reading here, they're not even going to inquire until September the 25th.
Gotcha.
The deadline has been postponed. Mm-hmm. So April 15th was moved to May 1st, and they've moved that now to September the 25th. And it says the current list of eligible localities is always available on the Tax Relief and Disaster Situations page, and I just clicked on that. Get more information on your state. Clicked on that. Let's go to North Carolina. Clicked on that. So that's us. The IRS further postpones various. It takes me back to the article I read a minute ago. So North Carolina, if you live in the state of North Carolina, then the deadline has been moved to September the 25th. So
that's pretty neat.
I
feel like that's a huge blessing too, because there's so much people are still doing, that they're still paying for and still working out that would go on their 2024 taxes, if I'm not mistaken. So having that break and having that extended till September is a huge blessing.
That is absolutely true. So let's keep going here. So that's your IRS relief for the day. I'm sure that you really...
we don't have a theme song for it.
No, we don't have a theme song for that. But here's what we're going to get in a minute. We do have this theme song for my fun facts in history. What happened on this day? Administrative Professionals Day has not always been Administrative Professionals Day. But I do know that on this day, William Shakespeare was born.
Wow.
Now, what does that mean to you? Anything?
It makes me just think of poetry and...
Poetry.
Very, very silly plays.
Silly plays.
Yeah. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that.
It's interesting to me how that okay, so I was talking to a fellow one time about the King James Bible, which I am an avid... I love to study the King James Bible. It's the only Bible for the English-speaking people. It's the only one we use here at Anchor Baptist Church and all of the ministries of Anchor Baptist Church. It's all we use. It's all we'll ever use.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's got that archaic language in it and it needs to be updated. Somebody said that. But nobody goes through and feels like William Shakespeare's writings
that's a good
need
point.
to be updated. And that's aggravating to me because his writings are even prior to 1611. The King James translators wrote from 1604 to 1611. It had a 7-year window to gather all the existing translations and purify them and preserve them.
I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody wants to do a William Shakespeare play and they want to recite it, they say, hark. They use words like hark.
Yeah.
What light through yonder window breaks. We don't talk like that. So thank you, Daniel. He's doing a impression in Studio B across from us. So hark. Nobody talks like that. We'd say, "Hey, look over yonder."
Yeah.
That's how we talk. We have our own way of speaking.
Yeah.
But they respect that. Now, we use the King James because it's translated in that way for the specific purpose of getting accurate words from the Greek, Aramaic, and Hebrew. They're words that translate into English that we had to actually make for the purpose of having that. Mm-hmm. That's why we have the King James Bible. It's got words in it that were invented to make sure the translation was correct.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But William Shakespeare was born on this day in 1564.
Wow.
Let's see here. Richard Nixon came out in public with an application for the job with the FBI on this day in history. How about that? Let's see if there's anything else on this that we need to know about. Nah, nothing else really of any importance or that will affect you. Now, let's talk about allergies. You ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have allergy problems?
Only with cats.
Oh, you're allergic to cats?
I am.
Like bad allergic to cats?
Well, okay, so it's strange. So I had cats growing up, and then one day, I can't remember how old I was, but let's say for sake of argument, I was like 9 or 10 years old, right? And I had gotten sick, like something like a cold or something like that. Wasn't bad, but I couldn't get over it. And it went on and went on and went on, and I never could get rid of it. And so my parents were like, we're going to take you to the doctor, even though it was like just a simple cold, but I never could get over it.
Never could get over it.
So we went to the doctor,
Here,
and he asked, he's like, do you have a cat or anything like that? I was like, yeah. And he said, you are allergic to cats. And he said, but your body has always fought it off.
I think everybody's allergic to cats.
And you don't like cats.
I don't like cats. Anyway, keep going.
So he said your body has always, the way he explained it to me, now I was like 9 or 10, so I don't know if this is the professional way, but this is how he told me. He said your body has always fought off that allergy, so you haven't even really noticed it. He said, but whenever you got sick, your body couldn't fight off both your sickness and your allergy at the same time. So that's why you can't get over this cold.
Correct.
And he said, I recommend, he said it's probably best for you to get rid of the cat altogether, which I was very opposed to. He said, but he said, at least put the cat away, let somebody take it for a month or so or whatever, long enough for you to get over this cold and get good and well over it, and then bring the cat back.
Did it work?
Yeah, it did.
So,
and I've had cats since, and I've never had an issue with it. But my husband, very, very allergic. He can walk in the room and his eyes get red and scratchy.
to cats?
So to cats, yeah. So he does not like them at all, and he calls them little Satans.
He calls them little Satans.
Yeah. So whenever I had a cat,
Yeah, I don't like cats
whenever
either.
we got married, I left it with my parents. They were gracious enough to just keep it. So
You hear that dramatic music?
that
My-
could be my conspiracy theory music.
My grandparents had a black cat named Spooky. And it was just exactly that. It was spooky. And it was a dark and stormy night in the fall of 1989. It was getting colder in the mountains of western North Carolina, and the snow began to fall. Shh. And Spooky went out in the dark and got lost, and we never saw him again.
Did he actually get lost, or did you do so?
I didn't do anything to Spooky.
Okay.
I did not. I won't even say that. Never mind.
He also hates goats too. He said that goats look like actual Satan. He said the babies are kind of cute. He was like, but then they grow up, and he said, look at their eyes. He's like, that is Satan, and he does not like adult goats.
Baby goats are a thing. People like. I mean, it's a huge
Yeah.
sensation now.
Yeah, it really is.
To get a goat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so seasonal allergies. A lot of people are dealing with that right now, the coughing and the sneezing. So it's seasonal allergies. Here's the AI overview. Seasonal allergies, also known as hay fever or allergic rhinitis, are an overreaction of the immune system to airborne allergens like pollen that are present only during specific seasons. These allergies cause symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, and itchy eyes. So that's so you may be experiencing that right now, and if you are an adult and you're experiencing this, you probably have experienced it before, and you know what it is, and it's aggravating. And the past 5 years, everything's been super awkward when anybody sneezes or has a runny nose or itchy eyes. Mm-hmm. It's just we've created a bizarre awkwardness with that. But so there's different things that trigger this. So, like you said, if you already have a situation going on in your body and then it's hit with another situation, it has a difficult time fighting off both. Mm-hmm. Okay? So when you have seasonal allergies and you inhale an allergen, something that you're allergic to in the environment, whether it's the pollen coming out or whatever, then your immune system identifies it as a threat, and it triggers a release of chemicals like histamine, which cause the allergy symptoms. Sneezing, runny, stuffy nose, watery or itchy eyes, itchy throat, and a post-nasal drip, which is annoying. And then, so how do you deal with it? Okay, so I text my wife because she's really up on a lot of stuff, and she's like an encyclopedia. As I said, I need information on how to deal with allergies from what we would call a crunchy standpoint. Anybody can go to the doctor or the pharmacy and get their suggestions, but if you don't want to do that and you'd like to take another approach to it, there's other ways to do that. The first one is, have you ever heard of stinging nettle? You ever heard of that?
Never.
Never heard that word?
No.
Stinging nettle, just like a stinging bee, stinging nettle.
It's like a plant, right?
It's a plant, so you have heard of it.
I think so, but I couldn't identify it or tell you. I mean, I think it's a plant.
It is a plant.
Okay.
Okay, and you can look at it right here. There's a picture of it. It's a green leafy plant, and it grows. Hang on, where does it grow? I had that here somewhere. It grows in Africa and Asia, I think. Hang on.
So just hop
Yeah,
on
there
a
we go.
plane, go to Africa or Asia, and you can get some plants for your allergies.
Why did I ask you? Why did I ask you? No, absolutely not. It's called Urticaria dioica is the name of it, often known as common nettle, burn nettle, stinging nettle, or nettle leaf, or just a nettle or a stinger.
That sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Is a herbaceous perennial flowering plant that is only native to Europe, much of temperate Asia, and western North Africa. Okay,
I thought you were fixing to say Western North Carolina.
that'd be a weird combination. Europe, Asia, and western North Africa. It is now found worldwide. So originally that's where it came from, but now you can get it anywhere. You can go to just about anywhere and find it. And so this stuff, it offers relief for allergy symptoms, particularly seasonal allergies like hay fever. It can reduce the inflammation and histamine release, and that is a key player in the allergic reactions.
And I'll say this, the internet, quite an amazing thing. You can order most anything online when it comes to like plants and seeds. I ordered some different seeds and some different bulbs and stuff for my garden this year. And it was amazing. Like I just typed in what I was looking for, and you can do the same things with herbs and stuff like that. So I would imagine that possibly, I don't know, but possibly you could buy the seeds. I mean, I'm sure you're fixing to tell us
And
an
grow
easier
it?
way. Yeah,
I
and grow it.
don't, you don't I mean, you can get it in a pill.
Oh, okay.
I think
Well,
my
that's
wife's
probably
listening.
easier.
Is this a pill? That's my wife. She'll text me in a
That's
minute.
probably an easier way to do it then.
I think it's a pill. It probably is an easier way to do it. But here's the deal with taking stuff like that. So during the COVID thing, the big, long, everybody was, trying to figure it out, COVID time, a friend of a friend told me that there's certain things you could take to help with it. So I went and bought a couple of things that I thought that could help with it, and it can. And one of them was zinc tablets. I went and bought a bunch of those and started taking zinc tablets like crazy. But apparently the one that I bought had an additive in it that contains stuff to bulk it up, and it caused kidney stones. And I ended up with 2 years worth of kidney stones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was taking this poor quality zinc. So you have to look into what you're getting and don't just buy the cheapest thing. My wife said it's a pill or a tea. But if you get the plant, if you get a hold of the plant and you touch it to your skin, it actually stings. That's why they call it stinging nettle.
Oh, okay.
So you can make a tea out of it. If you're the kind of person that, don't go out looking for it if you don't know what you're doing. Just go on Amazon or whatever and order a high quality stinging nettle, and that will help you with it. It will help your body respond to those symptoms until you can get some relief and your body can take over with its own immune system.
And I agree a lot with 1817 with not just allergies, but your overall health in general. If you help your gut health, it will help so many other things in your body. It's amazing. Beetroot
powder with a runny nose, echinacea, and black elderberry are good to help with symptoms of allergies and colds as well. That's correct. So that will help with your symptoms, and then that will help alleviate that, because some people are just miserable with it. Mm-hmm. And then you can actually treat the allergy with the stinging nettle. So stinging nettle is a powerful source of many different nutrients. It is a notable source for calcium, which you need for your immune system, manganese, magnesium, vitamin K, carotenoids, and protein. Okay, so that is stinging nettle. Then there's the next thing. So my wife gave me 3 things that will help with allergies. Okay, so that's item number 1, stinging nettle. Item number 2 is bee pollen. Did you know that?
I did know that.
You did know that?
I did know that.
Oh, yeah. You got to hit that button. Okay, so the second item is bee pollen. Bee pollen, so if somebody has any kind of allergy, bee pollen can help you with that. This is not just seasonal allergies. This is food allergies, you don't have a goat allergy, just a cat allergy.
And I've never taken anything for allergies, ever.
Never taken anything
I've never taken anything for allergies, but supposedly I'm allergic to a lot of things.
Really?
Because like my dad, like he's allergic to bunnies,
Your dad
hay,
is? I did not know
cats.
this.
Yeah, but he's never not had those things just because he's allergic to them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm the same way. I have bunnies. I had cats. My husband's definitely allergic to cats, so we don't have cats now. But hay, pollen. I mean, there's like a long list of things that Dad's allergic to, and that supposedly I do too. But I just, Daniel.
That's not good. If you're allergic to it, you need to do something about it. So, but I mean, some people just go on and don't worry about it. So I did that with dairy for years, and then I had a problem with my leg. I got bit by something in the Philippines, and it messed me up for over a year. And the doctor said, "Well, you're allergic to dairy, and if you're drinking dairy, consuming dairy, your leg is never going to heal
because your body can't fight both of those." Yeah.
So anytime I'm on dairy for any period of time, my leg still today, and it's the bite that I got was like 15 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Was it like a bug or something?
Nobody knows. I had Part E treated it. I had a doctor in Mills River treated it. I had a specialist on Patton Avenue look at it. And so if I take dairy, if I consume dairy for any length of time, my leg will swell up and the skin will peel off of it.
Because my brother, when we were in Bolivia, he got a spider bite.
That's a lot of information. Yeah, did he?
And he ended up having to have surgery. It turned black and it swelled up, and it was the doctor told us, they said, "Do you trust us?" And they said, "We need to do surgery immediately." And I don't know what kind of spider it was or anything like that, but it was crazy. I mean, they told him that he could have lost his leg.
Yeah, so it's a serious deal. And so when you have an allergy to something, it causes a weakness in your immune system, and it's better to try to avoid that thing until and 1817 described it correctly. My wife has been explaining it to me, that if you have good gut health and you restore your gut health, then a lot of those allergies will. You say a kid grows out of allergies. Well, he'll grow out of some allergies if his gut health is good.
Yeah. Gut health is so important for so many things.
Well, we've treated autism in our family with gut health.
Yeah.
So it is a thing.
It would blow you if you start researching it. It'll blow your mind how many different things. I mean, your hormones and all the different things that it can affect.
That's correct.
And treating your gut health will really
They
help
say the
your
worst
overall
thing in
health.
the whole wide world for your gut, like it's like a super poison, is mayonnaise. That's what I was told. Anyway, bee pollen. So we're talking about bee pollen. So this article, I'm looking at it here. Bee pollen is actually a food high in protein as well as other antioxidants and vitamins. This is from mindbodygreen.com, okay? So it's a superfood. Bees go from flower to flower collecting pollen to bring back to the hive where they create the granules. You can actually get bee pollen granules at the store. You can take this, whatever the serving amount is, a teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever it is. You can put it in a smoothie. And for years, I took a spoonful of bee pollen and just stuck it in my mouth and ate it. Now, some people are allergic to bee pollen, so you got to figure out
What you're allergic to.
what you're allergic to, and you have to be careful with that. But if you want to treat allergies, the best one is stinging nettle. Then there's the bee pollen. And by the way, you were talking about allergies, being allergic to a bunch of different things. My wife and my daughter did a hair test. I think it was $40.
Yeah, she was telling me about
They took a couple of 3 hairs and stuck it in this envelope and mailed it to Europe. It literally, the whole thing cost us like $40.
Wow.
And a few weeks later, we get this communication from them, this electronic communication, and it showed everything. And I'm just going to say it. She's probably listening. I'm just going to go ahead and tell it. She's probably listening. My wife was experiencing some major complications in a few areas. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, she was allergic to honey.
Really?
And she was eating honey every single day.
So like across the board, all honey.
All honey. She was allergic to it. And
wow.
So the honey we were putting in her smoothie, she was putting in her smoothie every morning. The honey that I would make tea for her in the evening. I would drink coffee. She would drink tea. And I would just load it down with honey. Because I have some friends that work at the farmer's market, and they were giving me gallon jugs of honey. They may be listening right now. I love honey. I preach a lot of meetings, and I take honey all the time, religiously. I love honey. But she stopped taking that honey, and her symptoms went away in a matter of days.
Wow.
Because she was hammering her system with that's something she was allergic to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to choose to tolerate an allergy, and put up with a problem somewhere else because you're tolerating that allergy. That's just a decision that everybody has to make.
Yeah.
So if I was allergic to mayonnaise, the world would be a better place because I could literally say, I can't eat that because it's got mayonnaise in it. But anyway, I can't say that. So here's the third thing. So stinging nettle, bee pollen, and then honey, of course.
Yeah.
And you check your local farmer's market to find out where the good honey is. And do you like comb in your honey?
Oh,
like
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like honeycomb.
Yeah. Whenever you said comb, for some reason, I started thinking about cereal. I was thinking like the honeycomb cereal as soon as you said that. And so it took me like a second to respond. Because as soon as you said comb, that's what my mind went to.
I love cereal.
I do too.
Yeah, I do like cereal. Cereal's a good thing.
But the good thing is the cereals I love the most is Raisin Bran. And I always chop up.
It doesn't have a D on it.
What?
Raisin Bran does not have a D on the end of it. You just said Raisin Brand. It's Raisin Bran.
I've always said Raisin Brand. My whole life.
Just take the D off.
Okay.
You're making a lot of people laugh today.
Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran.
That's going to mess you up.
It is. Until I was like 15, I said onion.
Onion.
With a G.
Uh-huh.
But that's the way that my dad said it.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, and then I was, widely made fun of for it, so I changed. Daniel just put up.
So there it is. Daniel
Bran.
just put it up. Raisin Bran does not have a D on it.
I really haven't even ever paid attention to that. I've always just said it.
That's right.
Anyways,
that was fun.
Maybe I should.
So
pay
you
attention.
like Raisin Bran?
Yeah, and I
love Raisin Bran.
I slice up bananas and I put bananas in it. I think that's the best. I also
stuff
like
right there.
what's it called? It starts with a K, but it's like Raisin Bran, but they have dried strawberries in it.
Special K?
Special K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it had a K in it. I like Special K. I don't know if you know this, but I grew up in Bolivia. So,
Okay.
Let me tell this quick story.
There's a K involved in it somewhere. Special K.
It's really special.
Okay, tell your story, and then we got one more article.
Okay.
Or one more piece of information.
So for those of you who don't know, I grew up in Bolivia. My parents were missionaries. And
we need a billboard on the interstate that says, Brianna grew up in Bolivia. And so if you want to do your introduction at the beginning of the swap shop, this is Brianna from Bolivia.
I think we should do that. It would go ahead and get a lot out of the way. But they would sometimes import things from the U.S., and it was really expensive. And they had imported a box of Lucky Charms, like the family-size Lucky Charms. Uh-huh. And I don't remember how much it was, but it was very expensive. And my mom loved that. For her anniversary, my dad went and bought her a box of Lucky Charms.
How about that?
And it was so funny, and she said that was one of the best anniversary gifts I ever got.
Oh.
Was that box
Lucky
of
Charms.
Yeah, Lucky Charms.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
That's just fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, so one more thing. We talked about the Sullivan family yesterday, the Josh Sullivan family, missionaries in South Africa. And so we wanted to give you we want to repeat the information for you in case you want to help them out.
Yeah.
So as you know, the Josh Sullivan family experienced a very tough situation a while back. Brother Josh, Pastor Josh Sullivan, was kidnapped, and it was a very, very tough situation. If you want to hear the story, if you missed it yesterday, you can go watch yesterday's Swap Shop on Facebook, and you can hear that. You can also go on our website and listen to it from yesterday. And so he was kidnapped, and he was away from his family for several days. And although they were not able to collect any ransom, they did get into his bank account, and they stole $9,000.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there's a lot of churches that are gonna help out with this. But if you would like to contribute to this, the church is Fellowship Baptist Church in Maryville, Tennessee, 1020. That's 1020 Walker Road, Maryville, Tennessee, 37801. Okay, and if you need that, you can call and we'll give it to you over the phone. You can reach the church office, 865-681-2823. That's 865-681-2823. And so they need to replace that $9,000 that was stolen by the kidnappers. But they're also in need of a minivan while they're traveling here in the United States for their furlough. and it needs to be one that's in a condition to where they can turn around and sell it when they go home and take the money and buy themselves a vehicle in South Africa.
Did they say? Did he say yesterday specifically a minivan or like what a suburban?
He said a minivan or an SUV with a third row seat.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if it's a good quality minivan, and if it's in the wintertime, having the SUV would probably be a little better in Maryville, Tennessee. But either one, they said either one would work, but that their preference was the minivan.
Yeah.
It's better fuel mileage, et cetera. So.
One of the first things that I thought about whenever they said that 9,000 was stolen, and of course they're traveling back, is plane tickets.
Yeah.
When you have a family of 6 and you're trying to buy plane tickets, I know that traveling to Bolivia, the average ticket that I've been seeing in the last little bit is like $1,200 a person.
Yeah.
And so I would assume that it's probably more than that from South Africa, and you have 6 people.
The good folks at Fellowship Baptist Church in Maryville, I'm sure they're helping.
Yeah.
But honestly, when you have this kind of expense, it piles up so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the expenses just pile up so fast. So
but you're
right about
tickets.
that. Correct.
There's 6 of them that's going to be flying back. So all those are things that have to be, given into account that they're really going to need some support during this time.
So when y'all go to church tonight, you really need to be thinking about the possibility of helping them out.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing as well. Okay, so one more thing. And I don't know if Brother Jeremy Martin mentioned this on prayer time yesterday or not, but we're going to mention it today. We are launching a series of camps here at Anchor Baptist Missions America. And these camps are, of course, we've done the music camp last year, and we're doing that again this year.
Yeah.
But now we're going to have a youth camp in June, a missions camp in July, a music camp in July, and a missions camp in August. So I just want to give you a quick heads up on this so that you can talk about it at church tonight. The ABMA Youth Camp, Anchor Baptist Missions America, the home missions outreach of Anchor Baptist Church and Ministry, is going to have a youth camp, and that is coming up in the month of June. We will be setting up a registration page at anchorbaptist.org, and the dates for the camp are June 11, 12, 13, and 14. So you register online, and then you arrive June the 11th, Wednesday, June the 11th. We have services Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. And then we have services Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning, okay? And just to give you a heads up on some of the preaching that we'll have, we've got Brother Doug Raines. He's coming to preach a series in the morning services. So he'll be here every morning at 10 o'clock to preach to the young people. Brother Doug Raines.
Amen.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's June 12, 13, and 14 at 10 o'clock in the morning. Anybody can come to the services, but if you want to come to the whole camp, you have to register online, and that is not available yet. We'll announce the registration page soon. And then in the evening services, we have Brother Randy Dignan from Bible Baptist Church in Jacksonville, Arkansas, and Pastor Justin Cooper from Gospel Light Baptist Church in Walkertown, North Carolina. We play Brother Cooper on Pulpit Hour from time to time.
Yeah.
Great preachers that are scheduled to be there. Brother Chris Swatako will have the menu for the camp, and it'll be excellent camp food.
Yes.
We're going to have activities that we will provide, weather permitting. We'll have horseback riding. We will have some kayaking. We will have some hiking. There are things we're going to be offering at the camp. And then, of course, the coffee shop will be open. And so that's June 11, 12, 13, and 14. You'll pay the registration fee online, and we have a discount at the Hampton Inn if somebody needs to stay overnight. If you want to come from out of town or want to bring some family from out of town, you'll have the opportunity to do that.
And what's the age range on that?
Right now it's 13 and up.
13 and up.
So it's a teen camp. So we're going to go with 13 and up on the ages with that. And the cap is we don't have a huge we don't have the ability to hold a very large camp this year. So you better register fast as soon as the page is up. And so we will be announcing the registration page probably later this week.
So but for the age 13 and up, is there an age limit?
13 to college age as far as
Okay.
Single, unmarried. So you come to the camp. And then somebody asked me yesterday about counselors. All that information will be available on the registration page. But I wanted to go ahead and get the initial announcement out so that folks can talk about it at church tonight.
Yeah.
So June 11, 12, 13, and 14. and very affordable to come for the week for those 4 days. Again, the night services will be having Brother Randy Dignan, Brother Justin Cooper, and then in the morning services we'll have Pastor Doug Raines. There'll be a joint youth choir. A lot of our area young people love to get into a choir and sing. If not, you don't have to, but that's a great thing. But then we'll be offering, of course, the coffee shop, the different activities, and the 2 services a day. I'm so excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Then there's music camp. Okay, so music camp is in July, and I've been talking to Brother Mark Wheeler about that today, as a matter of fact. Music camp is July 22 through 25, 22, 23, 24, and 25. That's music camp. And then missions camp, which is Navigate 2.0, is August 4th through the 8th. So that's the camps that are coming up at Anchor Baptist Missions America this coming summer, and we're looking forward to getting those registration pages up so that you can be a part of it.
Amen.
And so don't forget about camp here at Anchor. Something else was in my head and it left. So you go ahead and start reading Swap Shop items. You can buy, sell, or trade right over the radio by calling 884-9427, or you can text us at 577-1296, or you can email us control@wgcr.net.
The first item we have here is a variety of fishing poles and reels. Call 828-575-8085 for more information and pricing.
All right, we have a box of roofing materials, button nails, ice shields, a box ridge vent, 30-plus pieces of eave edging, and a skylight. They're asking $1,500 for all these items. You can text or call, and please leave a message, 550-5693, 550-5693.
4 wheels and tires for sale. They have to have tread remaining. It fits a 6-lug Ford F-150. The size is 305/45/22. They're asking $400 for those. Aluminum truck box also for sale, 63 inches long. It fits a Toyota Tacoma currently. They're asking $175 for that. Call 828-553-5581 for more information.
For rent, 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath mobile home on a private lot in Mills River, $1,100 per month plus security deposit. References are required. 828-606-9411, 606-9411.
Here's the last item I have here, John Deere riding mower. It has a 48-inch deck. It needs repair. It includes a lawn car and a push mower. They're asking $425. Call 828-877-3099 for more information about that.
And a 42-inch zero-turn lawnmower with bags, that is $2,000 or best offer, 760-221-0254, 760-221-0254. And now our computer's back up that shows our map, and I want to hit the map real quick before we close out. On the map, we have listening to I love reading this thing. This is fantastic, okay? So we have the United Kingdom listening today. We have Canada, we have Ukraine, we have Russia, we have Indonesia, and we have Honduras. And those are all the international app, music channel, and preaching channel. Yep. So thank you so much for listening, and we have a lot of folks on with us right now at WGCR.net. Thank you for listening today. I'm Brian Coates.
I'm Brianna Quinn.
And you grew up in Bolivia.
I grew up in Bolivia.
Have a good day.